Do you feel overwhelmed by all the activities you need to do on a daily basis? Today, I'm giving you 11 practical tips to maximize your time. Let's get into it. Before you can begin to maximize your time, you need to get clear on your priorities. Please take a moment, write down a list of all the things that you need to do, that you want to do, that you enjoy. Just write down a huge list. There may be 50 to 100 different activities on there. Once you've got your large list compiled, I want you to break it down to 3 to 5 priorities. For me, I'm all about my finances, my family, my physique. Once you get clear on your priorities, then you can start auditing and cleaning up things that aren't part of that core value system. Okay, now that we're clear on our priorities, we can start to really audit our time. Now, the goal with time management is to take massive action today that prevents action or work in the future. Here's a few tips. Set up a drop shipping store, your website. Maybe people can click, they buy something and it gets sent to them automatically. You don't ever have to touch it. You don't deal with the logistics. Set up auto replies and auto responders on your email, on your Facebook Messenger. Set up auto responses. If you're creating content like YouTube or podcast, pre-record your intro so you don't need to record that every single time you make a show. If you're serious about Instagram or Facebook or social media, do hashtag research on the front end so that you can get more reach on the back end. Keep a list of several different hashtag lists so that you don't have to manually type them in every time. My third tip is to break down several apps that I use, one of which is Linktree. I have a ton of different websites and social media platforms and channels that I want people to go to. Instead of just listing them out one by one, I send them one link to my Linktree account, and then they can see all the different things that I'm involved in. My second tip is to use a calendar app. An app like Calendly is completely free and really allows you to schedule appointments with other people very, very easily. You send them the link, they find a time that works, it links up directly to your calendar, and you stop all this back and forth. Well, does this time work for you? Does that time work for you? How about now? Stop it. Just send them a link, let them sort it out. If they don't schedule, it's not that important to them, thus probably not that important to you. Fourth tip, do it now. It is so easy to put things off till tomorrow. But listen, if you tackle your problems now, it's going to be way easier. How many of y'all have put off a problem till tomorrow or the next day or the next week, and only to make things take longer and be more challenging and more difficult? I know that there's clients that I'm always nervous or don't really feel like talking to because they're difficult. But the longer you put them off, the harder that conversation gets. I'll give you another simple example. Every time I go downstairs or upstairs in my house, I take something because I know that it's got to go downstairs. I'm just going to take it down now. It needs to come upstairs. I'm just going to take it now. Take action right now that prevents a future job. Listen, have you ever been at someone's house and it's just a complete mess and they can't find anything and they're always disorganized? Just clean your room. Like, this translates to everything. Your computer desktop. If you're not organized on your computer, you're wasting time trying to find stuff, figure out where you've saved things. Clean your room, clean your space. Part B of this is to leave things a little bit messy. Psychologically, as humans, if we see a mess, we feel compelled to clean it up. So I always recommend having a stack or a list of projects that you need to get completed. That way, if you run to a place where everything is clean, completely clear, you at least have one little stack that you can always work on instead of thinking about, well, what do I want to do next? I'm just going to reach over to this stack of paper. I'm just going to start working. Clean your room, but leave a little bit of mess. My sixth tip is a game breaker. It's use the notepad on your phone. How many times have something come up in your daily life and it seems very, very important, only to never get done because you forget about it? Use your notepad. This is a life changer. I love listening to podcasts. And sometimes when I'm running and I listen to a podcast, an idea comes up that's just game breaking, super powerful. I immediately stop what I'm doing, I write it down, or I dictate to my phone so that when I get home later, I'm able to execute. I can go down my to-do list. I can go down my idea list. I can go down my list of new connections. It sounds simple, but there's so many people that don't notate in their phone. Start making notes in your phone today. 7, eliminate distractions. How many of y'all are working from home and the TV's on, or you're listening to a podcast or a radio show, and it's striking, it's amazing to me how many people do this and they don't even realize how much time they're wasting because they are distracted. Listen, your brain can only process 7 things at once. 7 things. If 30% of your brain is being clogged up by the television, then you're not maximizing your time, you're wasting time. Just turn the TV off, turn off distractions. The same thing goes for emails. Are you getting bombarded with junk emails? Just unsubscribe now. How many people are just like, I don't feel like unsubscribing, I'm just gonna delete it. Listen, they're gonna keep emailing you. It ain't gonna stop. Just unsubscribe now. Eliminate your notifications, eliminate subscriptions, and eliminate the television. Profit. 8th tip, delegate. Gosh, man, how many people just feel like they have to do everything on their own? They can't delegate. Start delegating now. If you have employees, start finding things that your employees are great at and start letting them do what they're great at. Maybe you're a solo entrepreneur or a solo artist. Find a virtual assistant. You can hire people in the Philippines, in other countries, even around the corner that can help you with projects and maximize your time. Listen, they're not gonna be able to do it as good as you. Nobody can replace you. However, if they can do it 80% as good as you, that allows you to maximize your effort on other things. So start delegating. If you've never looked into it, start delegating, start looking for a virtual assistant that can help you out with these side projects that you don't love doing. Focus on what you love, get other people to help support you on the back end. My 9th tip is batching. This is a huge concept and it really has changed my life. This video is one of 4 that I'm shooting. I'm shooting a whole month worth of content today, okay? Instead of taking out my camera, prepping, research, all that, I do it once a month. I get all my videos out once per month. You do this probably every week with your laundry. When you take off a shirt, you don't go and you wash it immediately. You throw it in the laundry because you're gonna batch, you're gonna do it all at once. If you're meal prepping, instead of grilling your chicken every morning, you're grilling 7 pieces of chicken during the beginning of the week, and then you're eating throughout the week. You don't have to keep doing these same tasks over and over. Start finding things that you can batch together. If there's certain programs that you use on a daily basis, can you eliminate the opening and closing of programs many times and maybe just open it once per week? Maybe you start reading emails morning and evening instead of all throughout the day. There's a ton of different ways that you can batch. Type in the comments below, what is a project or a daily task that you have started batching and saving you a lot of time? You need to start thinking about batching very, very seriously. Shout out to Tim Ferriss. 10th tip, reduce your debt. Time is money. And if you are being drowned in debt, you are wasting time trying to pay off that debt. Listen, you have to find ways to eliminate your outgoing expenses. I think it's something that a lot of people think about is how can I make more money instead of how can I eliminate my spending? Maybe instead of buying that $500,000 home, you go with the $250,000 home. Maybe instead of buying the $50,000 car, you buy a $25,000 car. Find ways to eliminate debt because the lower your debt, the less time you have to spend making money to pay off that debt. And that money that you make can be spent towards other things that are more important or more relevant to you. Eliminate your debt. Eliminate wasted time. My 11th tip is a bonus tip, and it is don't overvalue your time. Listen, it's really important that you set a precedent with people that your time is valuable. One of the things that I've started implementing is explain to people how important my time is. If someone calls me on the phone, I'll quickly ask, hey, is this a 5-minute call or a 15-minute call? Is this something that can be resolved quickly or is this gonna take a long time? If it's gonna take a long time, I say, listen, I can't talk about this now. I'm gonna send you a link to my calendar. Find a 15-minute window that works for you and we'll chat then. You need to start respecting your time. The flip side of this is that you don't wanna overvalue your time. There's some things that are very, very important. If people are engaging with you on social media and posting, you need to respond to them. If people are calling you or want to talk to you, you need to make sure that you are driving relationships. There's nothing worse than when you reach out to someone and they give you crickets back. There have been a number of people that I've wanted to collaborate with or help boost their message, but they ghost me or they don't talk to me. And that's cool, that's on them. But that failure to drive your community, to drive your engagement, to drive your relationships is going to haunt you in the long run. And this goes all the way back to number 1. Get your priorities clear. If one of your priorities is building relationships, you need to engage with people. So please don't overvalue your time. You're not too good for other people. Connect, be real, and develop relationships because that, my friends, relationships is what separates great from good. So develop your relationships and do not overvalue your time. Type in the comments below, what did I miss? What is a time-saving tip that you use to really exponentially grow your project? Type in below, I'd love to hear it, and I will catch you next time. Peace.